The way I think of security analytics is looking at behavioral patterns, changes in those patterns, in order to detect activity that's out of the norm for either an individual or a group. And then I think the clever part is working out whether that unusual behavior represents a security event or not. In order to conduct analytics, you need data and lots of it. So we ingest data from a variety of sources across a network, primarily things like your Active Directory information, your secure web proxy information, your firewall information, DNS, DHCP. So all of the kind of elements that show activity and identity across a network environment. And then that allows us to start to build profiles and statistical models that we can conduct the analytics on. The company started in 2008, focused on UEBA, user and entity behavioral analytics. As the industry matured, we then added SIEM underneath that, because as I said before, you can't conduct analytics without all of the data that you need to conduct it upon. And then I think one of the other advantages, and this is really architectural, is we enrich all of the data at the time we ingest it, and that's also when we run our analytics. And I would also argue that the next step, which has to be taken, and it must be integrated into the product, is SOAR, security, orchestration, automation, and response. It's far more useful to be able to automate a response to an expected security event. And again, I'm not saying rules-based, I'm saying if your behavioral model says that this looks bad, then you could say, well, automatically quarantine that device until I can take a further look at it, for instance.
Okay.
So if you can automate that process for them, then imagine saving 10 blocks of 20 minutes across a day and multiply that by the number of days and the number of analysts, and you're gaining huge efficiency so that you can focus then on the important things, which are things that look like they represent security events and really need investigation. The purpose of SIEM is to give you increased visibility in your network, an ability to understand better what's happening and be able to respond to it. But the sheer cost of doing that means that most customers end up making difficult decisions about what log sources or data sources they want to turn off in order to be able to continue to afford to operate the platform.
Okay.
And that's paradoxical. The very reason you buy this technology is to see more, and then you start seeing less because you can't afford it. So that's why I've joined Securonix, because it's helping to drive that disruption in terms of the price point that you can deliver these services at and the quality of those services. So in order to disrupt this industry, we need to drive really quickly. I think the industry needs that change as fast as possible.